Well, good day, folks. Welcome to the MB Wildman channel. On today's video, we're talking about live traps. Now, I did a video a while back on the channel on a great live trap. I bought them years ago, and it was a set that fit inside the mouth of a 5-gallon bucket or 5-gallon pail. Great success with the trap. I love them. I've still got the ones I've got. And I had a lot of interest in the traps and a lot of views on the video. And I had a lot of people ask, like, where can I get them? Can I buy them? And I gave them the information that I had at the time. But that company had since, disappeared, I guess. Since then, we've actually, because there was so much demand or so much, so many people asking for the trap, we got a hold of the original manufacturer of the trap. And apparently, this gentleman has now started out or is now working for a new trapping kind of company. And he's remaking these traps. So he's got a better version of the same type of trap. And he sent me one. We're going to do a real quick video on it. I'm going to show you all about it, and I'm going to give you the information where you can go ahead and get them, and hopefully you'll find them as great and handy as I do. Listen, if you haven't yet subscribed to the Wildman channel, we sure would appreciate it. As always, we're looking for questions, comments, feedback, whatever you got. If you like the content, we would sure love you to subscribe to the channel. So here's the original design that I got from a place called the Iron City Trap Company back when. Now, this is the one you can see on the other videos that I've done. I love this trap. There's not a single complaint I've got about this trap. And I'll show you the way it came back then, and then I'm going to show you the new style that he has. And as much as I love this trap, man, the new one is, I love it, okay, 10 times better. So this trap came, as you can see, right? It's got the door flap like I showed in the other video. And when you get them, they have a little hole, pinhole up here where you put this cotter key, right? So once you get your door latch, right? You put your door latch like behind this screw here and then over the top of this one, and you let it fall and it catches on the two bottom screws. You put this cotter pin in the top like that, right? So that makes it so that if, when you roll this trap over, etc., you don't lose your, right? You don't lose your door lock part, right? So that's there. And then, of course, it's got the trigger, the pan trigger that goes in the back, right? And the extender out here that comes out to the front. And then your piece of threaded rod so that you can determine, depending on the size of your bucket, right, how deep you want it in the pail. Also, depending on what you're going to use for bait. And it also comes with this handy little pinched handle that you can sort of slide in here like this, right? When you want to move this thing around, you can slide it in, grab the back of the bucket, hold it up, and away we go. Okay, so there's the original design. And again, like I say, not a thing I don't like about this. I have had great success with these in pails for years, right, since I got them. But then once we got a hold of the guy, or once the guy got a hold of us, actually, semi in part maybe due to the popularity of the video and as many people as were asking for it, he came up with a new design recently, and he's working for a new place. And the new place is, let's see, I think it's, Viola Valley Hunting Supply, right? So the guy's name is Rodney Wright, and of course I'm going to put all the details for that down below in the description of this video, so you'll be able to get a hold of him if you like these traps. I'm pretty sure I looked online the other day, and I think he had 9 available online, actually, that were already pre-built. So anyway, that was the old one. Now, this is the one that he just sent me. And this thing here is sharp, okay? Now this is the exact same concept. Don't get me wrong, it's the same concept. But there's a few great differences that make this just the ideal piece of equipment, right? So as far as fitting in the bucket, it's the same. And the only thing is the back part here, he's extended this just about an inch just to make it fit a little deeper in the pail. Now, that doesn't really make a whole lot of difference as far as the functionality goes, but when you're attaching this to the pail, I use a couple of self-tapping metal screws, right? So by having it go a little deeper in the pail, there's no gap, right? So because it's tapered, right, there's no airspace between the two. So a little more metal in the bucket is always good. These ones don't come with the cotter pin, so these are all screwed already, and he's got the door latch. He's got the door latch already on, right? So there's no way, like these ones come assembled like that, so that's great, okay? And the door is, again, a little different design. So he now uses a plasma cutter for all of his cuts and things. So the original door from the other one, from the gray one, had a metal outside edge around the door and then a piece welded from the inside, right? So every time you weld something, you create a point that might be problematic down the road. But these ones here, all plasma cut, that's one single solid piece of metal that he's got in there. So, I mean, this door itself is a single unit, right? Super strong, super good. Same as the outside edge, right? So the same as this outside part here, right? So instead of it being welded in the corners, it's all plasma cut. So it's one single piece of metal cut out. And the only real welds that he's got on this thing, the only real pinch points, obviously he had to weld his circular piece together, and there's a bit of a line there, but good clean welds. And then he had to weld the circular piece to the front, you know, across there. But again, super great job. And where he's using the plasma cutter, where he's using a plasma cutter now, it's much cleaner, no real sharp edges. Like it's really nice piece of equipment. Also the handle on the top, instead of having it just sort of slide into that slot just sort of because it fits there, he's got designated holes in the front of this, and then his handle fits through and it stays attached, and then it lays down against the top of the trap like that. So that when you go to pick this thing up, when you got an animal in your bucket, it's just real simple. You just grab this, grab the back of your bucket, boom, away you go. And then this just lays down flat. It doesn't get in the way. You don't have to worry about losing this piece or finding this piece or whatever. I'm lucky I found this one. So the design overall, stronger, better, and I don't think any more expensive. So that's always a plus. Now, I'm going to put this thing together. I'm going to show you it in a pail, and then leave, you know, kind of it up to you whether or not you think this is something you could use out on your line. Okay, so assembly of these things is super easy, right? So there's my 5-gallon bucket. This just sets down in, right? Give it a little tap so it's in there really solid. I square it up a tiny bit maybe. There you go. So that's in there now. Like that. Now all I do, or all he even sends you in the package, he even sends you 4 little self-tapping screws, right? So when you order this, you get everything that you need to make this work. There you go. See? So piece of cake, just one little screw there. He actually sends 4, so you can go top, bottom, side, whatever. Another benefit of this trap over the other one, instead of having a piece of rod that's threaded that goes in both sides, he's actually welded the rod to the outside piece, right? So that means, again, that's one less moving part, one less part that can get lost or come open, right? So door goes up, comes out like this, right? Trigger goes in and comes out the top piece as such. I'm going to screw this piece in. Okay, piece of cake. I mean, easy to assemble in 5 minutes. And then if I wasn't talking, I could probably do it in 3, right? So you're going to just put this piece here, and depending on how long you want your pull to be, you know, or long your bucket is, depends on how far you tighten this in, right? So I'm going to do that. We're going to open this like this. I'm going to hook this on here like that. Okay? And your trap is set and your trap is done. These things are great. So I've got my bait in the back of the bucket. Animal comes in, raccoon, skunk, whatever. I use a dark pail. You can use whatever color you want. I use dark just because it's a little less, you know, animals tend to go into those dark spaces a little easier, but you can use whatever you want. I've had them work in every color pail from white, yellow, red, black, you know, it doesn't matter. So I've got this thing set up. I've got the bait in the back, the animal comes in, pulls on the trigger, and by moving the trigger or by pulling the trigger out of the way, when they move it, it just moves this front bar out. When it moves out, the door falls by natural gravity, and then the lock comes down, and that's it. They can push on that, they can pull on that, they can try to grab it, that's it, they're in the bucket. Okay? When I go to move this, because it's got a skunk in it and I don't want sprayed, obviously, you just grab the handle, grab the back of the bucket, good, I'm good. You want to release the animal? That's another good thing about these traps. You want to release a skunk and you don't want to be anywhere near it? It's real simple. You put this down in a field or wherever you're going to release them, roll it once, Door's fine, doesn't open, everything's still good. Roll it twice, keep your hand on the door lock. Okay, now you're ready. So as soon as you let this go, and then get out of the way, move back and just give it a little tap. The front door falls open, right? Or you can step way back and hit this with a stick, and as soon as they bump that with their nose, it falls open because the lock is gone, and away they run, and you're nowhere near it. All right, so this is the new design, and these things are great. I'm loving these, okay? So anyway, I hope this is something that you can use, help you out. You can decide whether or not, you want them on your line or whatever, but these are great for ADC work or nuisance wildlife or control or anything like that. And if it was me, I'd have 2 or 3 of these on your line if you don't have any right now, right? So anyway, all the information to pick these up is in the details down below this video, and I hope this is something that can help you out. Until next time, happy hunting from the MD Wildman channel.